Hello, the second response video that I have is in response to Paige's question. In the first question, you asked if we thought that people that are intellectually constricted because of, whatever disabilities or mental capacity problems are worthless or undeserving of a bite or a seat at the educational or intellect club. And I think that they actually do, because just because they're hindered in certain areas, it doesn't mean that they're totally incapable of, you know, finding their way, in that world. I think that it just goes to say, we're all capable in some form or fashion, but some of us may have to work twice as hard to be mediocre, or they may have certain strengths or areas that they're good at and prosper in, and that's what they need to focus on. I've known a lot of disabled people that have went on to get PhDs. I mean, mentally, constricted people get PhDs and things like that. And I've also, seen individuals that have the ability to do so, but just can't intellectually grasp, their areas of study or anything like that. So I just think it's very situational, and I just think it's just a matter of allowing people to just prosper in their own right, because we all have the ability to do so. And then your second question, you asked if we know somebody who hasn't had a formal education, and how do they compare with someone who does have a formal education. I've met a lot of people who don't have formal education that have a lot of street smart that overrides some people who may be intellects but lack common sense. They usually find a harder time maneuvering in life in comparison to somebody who has both angles, although they're not formally educated. And then your last question, you asked us, what do you think the motivation behind the educational life is? And I think it's very, very young for different people. I think it's essential and something wise to go after, because once you're educated, you get to see the world in a different light. You're aware of your surroundings and things like that, and how to function in this space. And you have a profession that you actually like, and that's the motivation behind me being wanting to be educated, because I want I want the world. I want to know what's going on around me, because I live in it. And I think that the mind is a very terrible thing to waste. So in a grand scheme of things, I think that's the main motivation behind pursuing the educated life. So thank you so much for your questions.